When a man gives you a correction, when he tells you something that you're doing wrong in some kind of way, that is a form of provision. Just like taking you out on a date or buying you a really nice present, he is providing for you. Many women, unfortunately, don't take it that way as a form of provision. And there's many reasons why that can happen. We're going to talk about several of those reasons on this call. The most important, though, we're going to talk about right away, is that when a man is giving his woman correction, he's not doing it from a place of love. He's not doing it from a place of care. He's doing it because he is triggered in some kind of way. He is feeling emotionally activated, and he's taking it out on you as his woman. So what you're receiving is this harshness, this critical energy, and it doesn't feel good in your system. It's actually activating you and putting you, at least to a degree, a state of fear. If you've ever experienced abuse in your life, or you're really, you had parents that were very critical of you, it might bring up a lot of fear for you. But no matter what, it's not going to feel good. Right? It never feels good to be criticized with that harsh kind of energy. And it's not what you need as a woman who's working on, hopefully, becoming more feminine, opening up, softening. It is not what you need to shift more into your feminine energy. And it's not what you need to become a more respectful, feminine woman, a better woman in a relationship or, early dating phase where a man is leading you in some kind of way. So it's provision only when a man is giving you that correction with care and with love, where he's doing it energetically, truly just to help you. It's not about him and his own triggers. It's about you and wanting to make you better, bring out your best self with his leadership. And so when you receive that correction with the harshness, you're probably going to, it depends on how you're wired, right? You might go into resistance, right? You might start arguing, it turns into some kind of fight. Or you go into compliance, you shut off, you freeze, you fawn, you just tolerate it. You act like the good girl, but it doesn't feel good for you. And it ends up hurting your self-worth in some kind of way. Neither of those options are good. Neither of them. And if you do the fawning thing, a man's actually going to slowly start to lose respect for you, even though it's ultimately his fault in the first place for not leading you with love and care. If you go into arguing, judging and resisting, and turning things into a fight, creating drama out of it in some kind of way, it's also not going to work out well, because he's going to lose inspiration to want to care for you in the relationship. That's a big problem too. In my relationship, so my marriage with my wife, I've been with her almost 10 years, and it happened a lot. For the first 3.5 years, I didn't understand anything about polarity. I didn't understand anything about my role as a man, and I would often be approaching her with things that I didn't like, that I would just be kind of in the state of being triggered. Obviously, she didn't take it very well. She would go into fight mode, right? She's definitely a fighter. And so it caused a lot of problems in our relationship, because I was just trying to make things better. Yes, I was triggered, and that's a problem. Just so you're clear, there's never a justification for a man correcting a woman in a triggered way. Well, never a justification for it. But it's also important to understand that much of the time, a man is trying to make the relationship better. It's just that he doesn't know how to center himself. He hasn't done his own feeling work. He hasn't done his own masculinity work to be able to give you that correction from a place of love. So tell me, at this point, what are you feeling right now as you receive this? Are you triggered? Are you experiencing any difficulty receiving this? Can you feel that desire for correction that's done with care? Or are you feeling like, man, I don't want any correction? Because we're going to be talking about that too. The more that your feminine instinct comes online, and the more that you heal certain triggers and wounding around your feminine instinct, the more that you're going to want masculine correction. And I'm talking about obviously the kind where a man's giving you that correction with love and care. If your instinct is still somewhat more buried, you might be really resistant to it. It's like, no one should be correcting anybody, that kind of thing. But if you're in that at all, understand that's going to be sabotaging your love life in a huge way. The more that you are resistant to a man's correction, the less that masculine men are going to show up for you. The less that you're going to receive that kind of care in a relationship where a man wants to be his best for you. Because if you're not receiving his correction, he's going to lose that motivation to want to give you other forms of provision, gifts, and taking you out and adoring you and feeling that strong connection to you, wanting to be affectionate with you, because you're not receiving him. Correction is a huge part of being able to receive a man, and this is one of the main ways that women will struggle with it. So we got to separate the two things. It's like you have difficulty receiving just because of his approach, his energy, and then on the other side, you have difficulty receiving just because it's any correction. If you have a lot of self-worth issues, you don't realize how amazing you are. You can take correction personally, even if it's done with love, even if it's done with care, right? Just because you're so hypersensitive, probably because you didn't get that love and care in childhood. That's going to be a big part of it. And really, the flip happens as your feminine instinct really comes online and you start to heal a lot of your self-worth, where you realize a man correcting you actually means that you are worthy. Now, this is, again, assuming that he's doing it with some level of care, right? Because if a man didn't care about you at all, he wouldn't bother correcting you. Like in my marriage with my wife, I correct her because I care about her and I care about our relationship so much that I want it to be the best relationship it can be. And if she does things that are bothering me, that I see as disrespectful in some kind of way, then that's impairing the relationship. And if I stay silent, I'm enabling the relationship to become impaired, right? I'm now co-creating that kind of situation. And a lot of men, what they do is they avoid giving a woman correction because they don't want to rock the boat. They're afraid of, offending their woman in some kind of way, or her getting angry and it creating drama, and he doesn't want to deal with that. But when he goes into avoidance, what he's actually communicating is, I don't care enough about the relationship and about you to move through my own stuff, my own fears, my own resistance, whatever, to make this relationship better. A man shows his love, his care. I mean, he shows it in multiple ways, right? Like, he should energetically be able to accept you as you are now, which means that when he's giving correction, he's doing it with love, right? Instead of like, oh, you're not good enough now, I need to make you better. So he should be able to accept you now, but he needs to be able to lead you to be better as a way of showing how much he cares. That's completely normal, and that's completely healthy. So we're going to talk about what you need to do to shift things if you're experiencing a man who is critical, who's not giving his correction with love in a moment. First, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Zach Rohde. I'm here to lead you into creating the relationship of your dreams, using your feminine energy and what I call feminine communication to inspire a man into cherishing you. If you've not yet subscribed to this channel, make sure you do that below. Hit the notification bell and be sure to like this video, because I'm going to make sure it's a good one for you today, just like I want to make every video a good one for you. And if you would like help learning how to shift out of your unhealthy control patterns that push away a man's devotion, push away masculine men if you're single, go below this video, open up the description. You're going to see the link to my main website, relationshipyourdreams.com, and there's going to be a whole bunch of things that you can get started with there. A whole bunch of offers. There's some free trainings that you can learn about, and you can also book a call with me where we can dive in deep and talk about what you need to do to shift and create the relationship of your dreams. Okay, so you've almost certainly experienced a man in your past who has been critical when trying to correct you, and you might be experiencing that right now. And if not, you're going to be experiencing that probably in the future. So what are you going to do? You can't tolerate it. You can't just accept it and do nothing, because your need in that moment is not being met. You're being hurt. You're being energetically attacked. That's not okay. That's never okay. But going into attack mode yourself, going into judging yourself, going into blame, setting boundaries, telling him, don't speak to me this way, all of that stuff is going to push him away. All of that stuff is going to further impair the relationship. And now you're co-creating a relationship that is not going to be conducive to your needs being met, right? Because a man's not going to want to if you interact with him this way. Whenever you resist, and that includes with boundaries, and it also includes with fighting, you are disrespecting him. That's a big thing, especially if you haven't heard that from me before. That's a really big thing, because everybody else is teaching women, to be high value and blah, blah, blah. You got to be setting boundaries. No, you don't. It's disrespectful to do that to a man. Now, sometimes you do need to set a boundary. Sometimes that's totally appropriate if a man is demonstrating that he's incapable or unwilling to cherish your heart and take care of your heart. But the only way that you're going to find out what kind of man you're dealing with is if you stop setting boundaries and start actually getting vulnerable. actually start communicating what the problem is for you. So it's very different. Say a man is argumentative in some way, there's a big difference between saying like, hey, that's not okay to talk to me that way, or don't talk to me that way, or this is disrespectful, or this is not okay behavior, all of that kind of stuff. There's that resistance and there's that energetic judgment. There's a big difference between that and, oh man, please have some help with what I'm feeling. And then you ask about it and you share, like, what's the feeling? Probably anxiety and maybe some anger, maybe some other feelings too underneath that, maybe some shame, maybe some sadness. You share your real feelings, not fake pseudo feelings like I feel unsafe, because that's not a real feeling. Keep following my videos. I explain all about these fake pseudo feelings that women will share that will actually push men away because they're actually judgments. You share your real feelings and you share it truly vulnerably. You're not doing it to teach, you're not doing it to lead, you're not trying to get him to change his mind in any kind of way. You're energetically opening up. A masculine man, if he actually cares about you, when you're able to share this vulnerably, he's going to feel care. The first time that my wife was ever truly vulnerable with me was 3.5 years into our relationship. It's crazy that it would take that long for my wife to be truly vulnerable for the first time. But this is true for so many women. And it's like, you think you're being vulnerable, but you're not. And I'm not blaming you. Like, you just don't know any better. You haven't been taught. You don't have a man who's telling you, like, hey, this isn't vulnerable, that you're actually leading, or, you're in a kind of in a victim energy or whatever, and he's lovingly trying to help you out of it. That's what you need, right? If you just had that, you'd be able to shift this so quickly, but you're not getting that loving masculine support. And that sucks, because that's what the feminine needs. Like, it's so difficult for you to make these shifts if you're not being told exactly how you're showing up in a way that's not great for the relationship, if it's disrespectful, right? So I don't blame you. I'm just here to support you. I'm here to be that masculine role for you, even though I'm not in a relationship with you, but you can learn from me and see how you're showing up in a way that's co-creating something that you don't want with a man or with past men, so you can actually change your future. When you truly open up and you're truly vulnerable, you're going to tend to get a different response. When my wife was vulnerable with me for the first time, and I was kind of like leading her in that direction, but I didn't know most of the stuff that I'm teaching now, and it kind of just happened. And it was actually one of the biggest things that shifted me into understanding what was wrong in the relationship this whole time. It's like, my wife's not being vulnerable, I'm not leading her into that, and I'm causing a lot of problems with making her not feeling totally safe and comfortable to do it in the first place. When she did that, though, I'm like, oh my God, I've been kind of a monster this whole time. I've been really selfish and not really thoughtful and not really considering your needs, and I really want to be a better man. I really want to take care of you. And one of the ways I wasn't showing up in the way that I should have been is I wasn't communicating correction with love. I was just getting triggered. And I was just kind of energetically forcing her to change instead of sharing, like, hey, sweetheart, you're judging right now. I'm going to help you communicate in a different way, right? I wasn't doing it with that kind of intention because I was too emotionally charged. But once she started getting more and more vulnerable with me, as I was kind of leading her, but kind of leading blind because I didn't really know what I was doing yet, the more that she started to soften, the more that I wanted to step up and take charge of my own emotions and start centering myself, right? And so it's a co-creation. It's like, I don't blame either side. It's just, you guys are co-creating it together, and you can't wait for a man to change, because that's disempowerment. Whenever you're waiting, you're disempowering yourself. You're being a victim. You need to be the change. It's like that corny kind of, it's like, you're the change. And you change by being more in your feminine, by learning how to be vulnerable, by learning what I call feminine communication, communicating in a way that a man can actually hear, but more importantly, it's in a way that feels good for you. Because it doesn't really feel, come on, let's be honest, it doesn't feel good for you to be setting boundaries with your man, or to be getting in fights with your man, or to be judging your man. That's not fun. That's not real empowerment in any kind of way. Real empowerment for a woman is letting go, opening up, getting really vulnerable with the man, and having him step up for you and want to care for you without you trying to get him to do anything, right? That feels so much better. You're getting the message, wow, like, you're so worthy of my care. You don't have to get me to do anything for me to be better. I just want to, because I want to take care of your heart. You need this aspect of your heart taken care of. You cannot continue to receive corrections in this kind of way, where you're going to be able to open. It's like you'll start walking on eggshells more. Maybe you're walking on eggshells right now, The more that a man gives that critical energy, the more that you're walking on those eggshells. Tell me what your experience is in the comments so far. Is that what you've experienced from a man? What is it doing to you emotionally? Do you notice that it's closing you off? By the way, the more comments that I get, I'm going to start doing videos about what women share. So share your experience with me. If you have any questions about what I'm sharing, share that with me. If there's any resistance that you have to anything that I share that with me. I want to know any triggers. It's okay. Those triggers are great. That's what's going to happen on this channel, and I expect that, and it's totally okay. But don't let those triggers turn you off from this work, because this is life-changing. This has completely transformed my relationship day and night. Like, if I didn't figure this out, we would have been divorced by now, almost certainly. And I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. I'm now coaching hundreds of women just like you to make these shifts in our academy program, where they're learning feminine communication, they're learning how to let go of control, they're learning how to shift into their self-worth, they're learning how to feel deeply, and they're transforming their love lives. And some of them have been stuck in this for decades and trying to heal this for decades, and they're finally making all of these shifts because this polarity work is so powerful. It's because you're learning to be who you really are underneath all those control patterns of judgment and blame and leading and nagging or compliance and avoidance and closing off your heart and pretending to be the good girl to avoid having a man that gets upset with you. You don't have to be any of that anymore. You just need to learn how to let go, and you need to learn how to do it safely. That's what I'm here to help you do. Would you like some help with that? Fantastic. It's what I do in my academy program. Go below this video, open up the description, go to relationshipyourdreams.com. There's a link there. Book a call with me. We'll talk all about what's going on in your love life, and we'll help you turn it around. The call's totally free. We'll find out if the academy's right for you. I'll give you some coaching. You can shift this if you want to. You can do it without me, but it's way easier actually getting help, getting masculine support to lead you through making all these shifts. That's it for this video. I'll see you for the next one.